bidiri mana kanu atwa inje bono ekele kwange ekele onu dodo sabono kwanu ekele ezu muo ki benu akunse webe mu ndị ekwuru ba anyị nụ ọdụ m ekenekwa agụ ọdụ m ekenekwa agụ ọdụ m ekenekwa agụ na ngwụ wabata obie na ngwụ wabata obie mabụletara anyị Biafra ka obi kedịrị anyị nụ alụrụ egbu ome na ndị na-eme eme ife alụrụ egbu ome bụletara m Biafra ka obi dum mmadụ odori ọkụ ife ịgbalụ n'akwa ka nna ya owuru olu sigba na elu nya ka obi dum mmanụ agwa mmanụ afọ Tini ịkpa m n'akpa metenarị n'ife ime m n'aka memenarị n'ife ịkpazie m n'ọnụ ma ekwunarị iyi n'okwu nu isi na ihe bịa convention kemgbe 29 Novemba na Latinu na-abatara Disemba 3 declare anyị Biafra nụ nwezi ka imelu m ka obi dum mma n'afọ anyị isi n'ihu eze akpata n'obi onye a na-akpọ nwere ife ọ na-eme na-ezebata n'obi nwere ife ọ na-eme na-ezebata n'obi ụda dum ife abịanụ ewetara anyị Biafra be anyị nụ oge adị anyị mmanụ anyị emerụ ka isi emeri ma mere anyị ka isi emenụ asị aka nnukwu aka ekpe akwa aka n'idodo ori mere anyị kiri na akwa ya esoghị na asụsụ tie gị ikenu isi na egbe ebiri n'elu anyị edebe na ala anyị edebe n'elu onye si na ọ na-afọ anyị eme ya ọfụ n'anya anyị ọkwa isi na onwe ka isi kwado ori anyị eme ya ibe ha afụ n'anya nụ onye si na nke anyị na-eme ya dụ ma ya nwere ike tii na nke anyị nụ onye si na isi na awa agaghị eji nke ewere na aja nụ dodo ori ekelekwa gị eke ụbọchị eke na-aga alụrụ ọfọ dodo ori Mama nungu basi ekenu, mama lu ye de ko de lu, mama lu ju ko ko chata lu no. Asi ni ko cha cha le ti do ri. Ta ta ni cha na ku go, abi mo lu go na ku ga lu na. E ta na na ka na go lo ta bu basi ekenu. Ke ibe, o ke we ti fo ma ri. Ka na ke le kwa gi lo ko. Nde o ka di no na. Ke ko egi. No mo ko ma ka ye melu no. Na fu o ya po bata ya apụ awe mpa mmụọ na apụ mmụọ oge m sị na agwa alụm okwu n'afọ arị gwa m ife ma agwa ike obi dị gị mma n'onu eri maka ịkpa m na ọkpa metụlarị n'ife ịkpa m na akpa maka tụrụ obi ya alụghị ọbara tụrụ eri ife na-ekwu n'anya arị atịrị so na ndị odi ndị akara anọrị ngwa meela anyị gobide anyị mmanụ na Naijiria dozi ọnọdụ ori maka na mmekọta sị obodo afọ na manya natakwa erio mana ibulatara anyị afọ na ọnọdụ ori dodo ọdụ na-ekelekwa alụ na eze agụtara obi ọnụmekenekwa elu ọgbakọbalụ m na nwere mgbe ịgbalụ ndị zu ọsọ dodo ori ma ha ma ife ọdọgwu na-elu ha nụ iwe chiri medal atụratara ha si anyị chọrọ ime ka ha fụ n'anya arị mgbe bunatara Biafra ka obido ụmụ mmanụ bunatara Biafra ka obido ụmụ mmanụ na-atụkwa n'azụ ụgbọ m ife oyimi na atọ n'oyi ihe melu m ka obido ụmụ mmanụ enweghị ihe ọgụ n'okwu eyi sigụpụtara Biafra ka anyị nwee n'onwe anyị dodo ori ekele n'ọlụ m na ndị ka anọ ebe nyere ka igwe kwụsị ntolu ụlọ anyị eme ka gwara anyị dodo ori otu ụlọ mmanụ tiri iwe tabata n'obi ịbata ka chi n'obi nụ ka ebụrụ mgbọrọgwụ na ụdị eyi ma meere anyị emerụ oyi Finland be anyị o ndị lati onu m ekenekwa unu elezasa stọp onu m ekenekwa ego founder onu m ekenekwa ego adanda bụ na ndị ekene onu m ekenekwa ego achara ugo nwaanyị ọgba ugegbe oyibo nụ onu m ekene egu n'okwu eyi onu m ekene ego nwakọba ka esi eme ọdịnala dodo onu m ekenekwa unu donu ka ọnụ m kenekwala unu ka unu ha wee kpuchie ya onu m ekenekwa unu ndị moving train onu m ekenekwa unu leasing officer n'obodo niile onu m ekenekwa unu ndị banyị na France onu m ekenekwa unu Germany onu m ekenekwa unu ndị obodo unu onu m ekenekwa unu onu m ekenekwa unu eme ka obidiri mana akanụ atụrụ anyị njebe ọnụ ekelekwa nga ekele ọnụ dodori sabọnụ kpọnụ m ekele elu mmụọ ka ibe elu ọkụzi egwebe m ndị ekwuru be anyị nụ ọnụ m ekelekwa agụ ọnụ m ekelekwa agụ ọnụ m ekelekwa agụ si na ngwụ wabata obie na ngwụ wabata obie ma bụletara anyị Biafra ka obi kedịrị anyị nụ alụrụ egbu ome na ndị na-eme eme ife alụrụ egbu ome bụletara m Biafra ka obido ụmụ mmadụ dodo ori But if you want to know, can I go to sit down and not go to Mumano?
Oh, yeah,
Malafari. Sini kama kwa metela ni fi même na kama metela ni fe. Il passe non nous.
Ndewo. Onye kwuru ka a na-eme ọbata obi
bịa njem na Amerịka anyị bịa ka ibe leta nwanne anyị nwoke bụ nna anyị n'obodo a bụ onye anyị nwụrịla anya na nchekwube na eziokwu nke ya nwa na onye ji guzo na eziokwu a ga na-edu ụmụ Biafra na-aga n'ihu ọ ga na-edu IPOB na-aga n'ihu anyị bịara n'ụlọ ya nabata anyị were obi ọcha na obi dowe nabata anyị anyị na-asị na ọ ga-adịrị ya na mma na ezinụlọ ya na mma anyị na-asị na ihe ọwụla anyị chọrọ bịa mere ka anyị ga-enwetarịrị ya n'ihi na ihe anyị na-ekwu okwu mgbe na-ewu n'ọnwụ ndụ mmiri ndụ azụ nwa mmụọ emegbula nwa mmadụ nwa mmiri emegbula nwa mmụọ ihe anyị na-ekwu anyị na-asị na Biafra ga-abịara na ndụ na-awụghị n'ọnwụ anyị ga-eri uru ọmụmụ anyị ga-eri uru akụ na ụba n'ime Biafra anyị na-asị na onye ọwụla pụtara na sị na Biafra agaghị adị onye ahụ agaghị adị anyị anaghị asị emebere ugo obere nke si bebere ka ya gosi nke ọ ga-ebe anyị na-asị na nkụ ga-ekwe ọ ga-ede ọ ga-anwụ ọ bụ eziokwu ka anyị ji na-aga njem a ọ bụ ịhụnanya ka anyị ji na-aga ofu obi anyị na-asị onye ọbụla hụrụ eziokwu ji ide eziokwu aka n'ihi na ọ bụ eziokwu bụ ndụ ọ bụghị okwu asị anyị na-asị na ọ ga-ada anyị niile na mma anyị ga-ahụ echi n'ihi na echi anaghị agwụ agwụ anyị na-arịọ Chukwu nke abịa ma ka onye anyị ndụ nye anyị ahụ isi ike nye anyị ngọzi nke ya nye anyị ịhụnanya ekpere niile ka anyị na-ekpe ọwụ ka onye bi n'ime eluigwe ka o wee nụrụ olu anyị wee gbatara anyị ọsọ enyemaka wee zọpụta anyị na akpa niile nke na-akpa anyị nke bụ Biafra anyị na-asị na ikpete maazụ anyị ga-enye aha nsị ụtụtụ na nsọpụrụ na eji ama site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị
Amadike Biafra
ọ kụchiri ihe abịa tụwa ya ime nwa ha mụtara.
Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on this very platform. We appreciate you and we thank you wherever you are connecting from. Please like and share the video. Like and share the program on your platform. Share to family and friends. Share to everyone that is close to you. Let us carry this message to the doorstep of the enemies. I welcome you once again. Remember that this platform is a platform that promotes the independent state of Biafra. A platform that stands for freedom, equity, and justice. This platform stands for the Biafran people under the Biafran Republic government in exile at the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. In this platform, we bring the truth to your doorstep and we say things the way they are without being politically correct. If you are looking for political correctness, you are in the wrong place. But if you are searching for the truth, get seated, prepare to hear informations. My fellow Biafrans that are watching across the world, I welcome you on this very program today. Every one of you know what is going on. And if you don't know what is going on, all you have to do is to pay attention. If you have not been paying attention, please pay attention. Bring your seat. Tighten your seat belt. We are gently speeding into our convention ground. We are gently speeding into our convention. And that convention is going to come in a very, very powerful way. The convention is going to come in a very powerful way. In a way that our enemies will be thrown off balance. The enemies of Biafra cannot imagine what they are going to see. If you are genuinely a Biafran today, you must prepare yourself for what is coming. Our freedom is coming. And no man born of a woman can stop our freedom. No matter how they try, no matter their propaganda and their blackmail, we will not allow them. We will continue to decimate them. We will continue to make sure that the truth is revealed. As we are preparing for our convention, Chukwu Okike Abiama will make everything possible for us. It's only Chukwu Okike Abiama that makes the impossibility possible. He makes those things that is impossible, those things that looks impossible. Only Chukwu Okike Abiama can make it possible for us. All we need to do is to do our own part. Every one of us should rise up. Do your own part. As we are preparing for our convention in 2024, the second convention of Biafra, where the final result of the self-referendum will be called. The second convention of Biafra, where the declaration of the restoration of independence of Biafra will be made. Every one of us should be prepared. Tighten your seatbelts. Get yourself ready. Don't say you were not told. Don't say you are taken unaware. It is once in a lifetime event. If you are truly a Biafran living in Europe, there is no excuse you will give. No excuse for you not to attend this convention, except for those who doesn't have their papers yet. If you don't have your papers yet, it's understandable. But everyone that is living in Europe, a Biafran, and you have your status, okay, there is no excuse why you should not be in Finland for this convention. Everyone have to start registering. If you have not registered for this convention, please go and register. If you have not yet made yourself available for this convention, go and do so. Biafran Convention of 2024 is going to be a bombshell. People are going to come from all parts of the world. People are going to come from all parts of the world. It does not matter where you are. People are going to fly in from all parts of the world. We are going to have delegates from all parts of the world. We are going to have important delegates from the United States of America. Some governments of the world will be represented on that very convention. Some organizations will be represented. We are going to have great speakers from other parts of the world make speech on this convention. It is going to be massive. That is why Biafrans must prepare. Prepare financially, prepare spiritually, and prepare morally. If you have not yet made your contribution financially, please go and make your financial contribution. It is a very big event and it is going to cost money. The convention is a very massive event and it's going to cost money. That is why everyone is called upon at this material hour to be there in that convention. You must be there. Every single one of us must be there to answer the call. Every single one of us must be represented. There is no excuse whatsoever. We'll be welcomed. Begin to prepare yourself for this convention because it is going to be massive. And as we prepare, Chukwu Okike Abiama will give you the strength, the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding to do what you are supposed to do. Before we go deep into the message of today, I want to remind you of some important information that you must not play with. Events that are coming up as we proceed.
Biafra, BFR, Raffle Jingle, my people, follow who no road. His Excellency Simon Ekpa Njoku, na him they carry us enter Biafra. He they play the show. No be lie, the good guy, Prime Minister of the Republic Government, in exile, went there for Obodo Yibo, Finland. With him government, na him they do the wonder. Say make you join, follow up, he go sweet you for body. Freedom today, better for you and your pikin them. I dey tell you, he can still bring ogbonge raffle draw with big money when you go win. I dey tell you, no be lie. Starting from on the 29th of November, go reach December 3rd. Now this thing they happen 2024. And make I shock you, the money, it makes sense well. $20 and total winning prize $10,000. A first prize $5,000, third prize $2,000. BFR, no sit down, no sit down. Look, na dog name. They want from here gather money to build Biafra, where you they cry for sins. You go also win too, no play.
The Texas Liaison USA is welcoming our Obataobi, His Excellency Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, to the United States of America, USA, for a town hall meeting. Therefore, we're inviting all wonderful people of Biafra, friends of Biafrans, well-wishers, and all lovers of freedom to this great event. Yeehaw! We move!
Biafra. BFR, Raffle Jingle. My people, follow who no road. His Excellency Simon Ekpa Njoku. Na him they carry us enter Biafra. He they play the show. No be lie. The good guy, Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government, in exile, went there for Obodo Yibo, Finland. With him government, na him they do the wonder. Say make you join, follow up. He go sweet you for body. Freedom today, better for you. And your picking them, I dey tell you, you can't still bring ogbonge raffle draw with big money when you go win. I dey tell you, no be lie. Starting from on the 29th of November, go reach December 3rd. Now this thing they happen 2024. And make I shock you, the money, it makes sense well. $20 and total winning prize $10,000. A first prize $5,000, third prize $2,000. BFR, no sit down, no sit down. Look, na dog name. They want from here gather money to build Biafra, where you they cry for sins. You go also win too, no play.
Today. By the power confirmed on me as the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in exile. And after you have voted for the open gate for the Biafra freedom, which is 100% vote, this charter has become a law. And the Biafra Helsinki Declaration.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us on this program. My fellow Biafrans, today we want to talk about a topic we say Biafra Republic Government in Exile, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa Njoku stand for the interests of Biafrans people around the world. The Biafran government stand for the interests of the Biafrans around the world. The Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, stands for the interests of Biafrans around the world. This is the truth, nothing but the truth. If you are one of those who is denying this truth, if you are one of those who is trying to put down this truth, you are going to meet your end. This is the truth, nothing but the truth, and you cannot deny it. The truth of the restoration of independent state of Biafra, under the command of our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, a man today who have sacrificed everything in his part for the restoration of independent state of Biafra. Do you still have any doubt? Are you still doubting? Are you still in doubt about the commitment and seriousness of the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa? Are you still in doubt about the commitment of the Biafran people to be free? As for me, I am not in doubt. I am much more sure today than I was yesterday. I am 100% sure that the Biafran people are more than ready to go home. And I am very sure that the Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, is committed to this very assignment. Simon Ekpa is committed to this very project, and there is nothing you can do to stop the project. The only thing you can do today is to embrace that project. If you refuse to embrace it, you are going to face the consequence of your action. The Prime Minister Simon Ekpa has made an open confession, and he said that any day he enters into any other discussion apart from Biafra, any day he make any consultation for his own personal interest apart from Biafra, he said, let his late mother strike him deaf and dumb. Only few people can make this kind of oath in the public. Very few people can make this kind of declaration. Our Prime Minister made this declaration and he stands on it. His confession to stand for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and never to betray Biafra, he has always confirmed. But the Zoological Republic and the enemies of Biafra, they continue to push their lies, their propaganda and blackmail. The enemies of Biafra continue to push their own evil, trying to see if they can demonize him, if they can distract him. The enemies of Biafra continue to fight everything that we stand for. But I bet you, both the IPOB in Nigeria, both the Ifajunas, the intellectuals, the Ababakus, both the Afonjas, everyone that is today standing against Biafra, they will all be defeated. We are going to defeat them. And already they are defeated. Already they are covered in shame. And today, the only thing they have is to go to the media and shout and make their blah, 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 blah. But who cares? Because of this situation, I am going to share with you one of the programs they hosted in one of the platforms, VOP. We are using the programs on VOP most of the time because they are somehow reporting balanced discussions. Most of the time, they report balanced discussions and they present Biafra issues mostly. So we are going to dissect a video and discussion they made there, more especially centering on the seat at home. I would like you to hear their narratives and then we will put the record straight. Let us listen to this very program carefully from beginning to the end, and you'll be glad you did. Let us dig into the program.
Thank you so much for staying with us. It's still VOP this morning. Down to the topic of conversation. The persistent sit-at-home order and growing insecurity in the southeast region of Nigeria have led many residents to question who benefits from the unrest in the region. Tensions rose after a viral video surfaced 2 weeks ago, showing an unidentified man urging residents to observe a 2-day sit-at-home from October 21 to 22. He claimed that Biafran soldiers would launch armored vehicles and hoist Biafran flag, warning of potential violence between Biafra fighters and the Nigerian army. The video sparked widespread concern, with local authorities, including the police, urging the public to ignore the illegal directive. The indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, through spokesperson Ima Powerful, also denied involvement in the sit-at-home order, claiming it was the work of infiltrators within the group, led by Nnamdi Kanu. Controversial IPOB agitator Simon Ekpa, known for repeatedly declaring sit-at-home orders, despite his suspension from IPOB, distanced himself from the viral video too. However, his ongoing influence remains a point of connection and contention. Efforts by Igbo leaders like Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State and Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State to halt the illegal action.
When these people use this term, distance, IPOB Nigeria, distancing themselves from our Prime Minister Mazi Samuel, we have distanced ourselves from them for a very long time. I don't know why these people don't get things right. Our Prime Minister have made it clear that we have nothing to do with IPOB Nigeria, the political pressure group of Nigeria. We are not a political pressure group, and we will never be. Whatever they are doing, we are not part of it. We have said it time without number, but the media seem not to understand this. We have distanced ourselves from IPOB in Nigeria very, very long time before now.
In the region. Tensions rose after a viral video surfaced 2 weeks ago, showing an unidentified man urging residents to observe a 2-day sit-at-home from October 21 to 22. He claimed that Biafran soldiers would launch armored vehicles and hoist Biafran flag, warning of potential violence between Biafra fighters and the Nigerian army. The video sparked widespread concern, with local authorities, including the police, urging the public to ignore the illegal directive. The indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, through spokesperson Ima Powerful, also denied involvement in the sit-at-home order, claiming it was the work of infiltrators within the group, led by Kano. Controversial IPOB agitator Simon Ekpa, known for repeatedly declaring sit-at-home orders, despite his suspension from IPOB, distanced himself from the viral video too. However, his ongoing influence remains the point of connection and contention. Efforts by Igbo leaders like Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State and Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State to halt the illegal action have so far been unsuccessful. We have with us in the studio this morning, we have Dr. D.G. Omoshola, Doctor of Political Science, and also he's in the studio this morning in the capacity of a public commentator. And we also have Prince Francis Chilaka, who is a political analyst, also with us in the studio this morning. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have the issue of sit-at-home order. This time around is the 2-day. No longer the Monday sit-at-home order as usual in the Southeast now, but it has been extended. And in the video, a man was calling for people not to come out, saying that the Biafran fighters will be displaying their armored vehicles and every other thing. Also citing that people that come out actually, they are the ones that they are heading to their peril, given the fact that the Nigerian military might try to ward off the fighters from hoisting the flag in the Southeast. I'll start with you, Prince Chilaka. What do you really make of this? A lot of people asking so many questions. Why are we having this? Why is it that IPOB is divided?
Who and who makes up the IPOB? And I'll start from there. And how did we come about this whole madness of IPOB? You see, if you go down memory lane, you'll understand where this whole thing started. Owazirike started with Musa. And while he was at it, Nnamdi Kanu was also a member of Musa. He broke away from Musa and started IPOB. On the other hand, Simon Ekpa also has been riding on the back of Nnamdi Kanu. So it's like a triangle. But the thing is, where did it all start? What led to all of this? It all started with the fact that the Southeast governors have not done well. They have not been able to bring the dividends of democracy to the Southeast. So for me, I will not look at the federal government. The federal government has its own flaws. But I will look at the Southeast governors, the Southeast leaders. The only reason why you have agitation in the Southeast is because those they look up to as leaders have not done what they should do. We have had leaders in the Southeast, all they do is embezzle the money sent to them and not doing one single developmental project in the Southeast. So you will have agitation, but unfortunately, IPOB, Mossad, whatever name you want to call them, they have left the real issues and are following a different issue. You have left your state governors. Take, for instance, before the coming of Oti in Abia State. Abia State was like non-existent. You had waste, the environment was stinking to such a land that people could not even breathe freely in the state. Also, don't forget that Nnamdi Kanu is from Abia State. Why did he find it difficult holding all the governors in that state responsible for the wars? So if you're holding your governors responsible, this whole idea of agitation, the agitation for succeeding should even start from the governors.
It should start from the state, not from the federal level. And that's on one hand. On the other hand, I don't understand the madness of a freedom fighter. You are fighting for your people. You say that the Igbos have been marginalized. You say that the Igbos have been maltreated. Yet, you are running an organization that has come out to start killing the same people that are trying to get freedom.
But IPOB have distanced themselves from the killings and the insecurity in the South, is citing that they are not the ones doing it. And that was what gave birth to, Priscilla, that was what gave birth to the emergence of the unknown gunmen.
No. Before the unknown gunmen, you see, we play too much in this country. We allow non-state actors to wield so much power. Don't forget that what happened in the Southeast is the thing that Asari Dokubo is doing now. Asari Dokubo is all over the place, waiting on, showing you people he has been training, telling you that he's a contractor to the federal government. What happens tomorrow if Asari Dokubo gets arrested? Don't you think that another Southeast would evolve? So for me, it's not about whether IPOB, man powerful, or anybody comes up. The thing is that they were the ones who planted this fruit that is growing now.
But you know, they said the whole sit-at-home order thing, Prince Chilaka, started in August 2021 after the
was
rendition.
kidnapped.
Okay, I'm happy you're using the word. After he was brought back into the country, and you know the story so far up until this particular time, and they said they decided to do the sit-at-home order for the government to also hear their cry.
Which government?
Now, the government of Nigeria to hear their cry. And that is the region that they occupy. Now, are you saying that, them saying that we want to do the sit-at-home just on Mondays, you know, for us to show that we are not happy about how a freedom fighter was, you know, being rendited back to Nigeria, where other people who the federal government also charged with the same particular the same case of being moving freely in this country?
Let us, you know, be very honest with ourselves and ask ourselves one critical question. When you declare sit-at-home in the Southeast, how does it affect the earnings of the federal government? In what way does it affect the earnings? How does it affect how the federal government works? Look at what the Shiites do when they want to revolt. They don't wait. They don't do it in Kaduna. They don't do it in Gombe. They come to Abuja because that is where the seat of power is. Why did IPOB not go to Abuja to declare it at home? So that the federal government, or they come to Lagos and declare it at home.
Right. So
declaring it at home in the Southeast is just killing the people. It's holding the people hostage. The same people you want to save.
I'd like to take it from the points that you raised. How does it affect the government? But we hear that monies are being lost. I'm going to come to Dr. Promotional now. From August 9th, when it started, 2021, I beg your pardon, August 9th, 2021, when it started, a report was done. From August 9th to about December 19, 2022, it was estimated that due to the sit-at-home in the Southeast, about 15 trillion naira has been lost. 15 trillion naira was lost due to the sit-at-home. And a closer look at this shows that this involved SMEs, the common man, basically. But this has persisted regardless. And there are other instances where when Governor Peter Mbah came into office, he did say that, look, this must stop, all right? And then he went ahead with policemen in a show of force, instructing the people to come out, but the people did not come out. A few that came out were killed in areas where they came out, and the people went back into hiding. In fact, right now, if you ask the people to come out, they will tell you, no, we don't want to. Their lives have been fashioned in such a way that Mondays, they will just abandon every other thing and stay at home. Who is benefiting from this? If Southeasterners are losing about over 15 trillion as of 2022 December, who is benefiting from the sit-at-home?
Okay, let's look at some basic things for us to put this in context. First, the people of the Southeast, and who are they? The people you can call the Igbo race. Who are they? These are people that ancestrally, if you look at the people of the Niger Delta, for instance, they are ancestrally agrarian. before the oil was discovered by Shell and the oil exploration and all that. If you look at the Yoruba people, they are agrarian then, most likely into what we can call entrepreneurship or petty trading. That's why you see the grandma in the olden days that they tie their money to their wrapper and all that. Now, if you look at people of the Southeast, these are people that are ancestrally businessmen, ranging from small scale to medium scale, and a few of them that perhaps God has blessed, are kind of like doing it on a very large scale, but it's mainly small and medium scale. So you now want to ask yourself that if this is what these people are ancestrally known for, and you want to say you want to liberate your people, then it brings us to context that what is liberation itself and what aspects needs to be liberated in the life of a man before we can do what I can call a sum of the whole to now say, oh, a man is truly liberated. Number one, they will say, oh, you should try and have some wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You should have some education. I'm talking of as a human being now, that then you can be deemed to be knowledgeable, and that knowledge will bring liberation and financial freedom. But in the case of the Southeast, if you say you want to liberate them, can you separate people that are ancestrally businessmen? Can you separate them? Can you impose a sit at home on them whereby you are now killing what they are ancestrally known for? At the end of the day, the problem will be that if this sit at home continues like that, let's say God tarries in his coming, and at the end of the day, there's a Biafra nation. Don't forget that Biafra nation, you will not be in Yoruba land or Arewa community. It will still be in that Igbo land. It will still be occupied by that same people, the same people there. So if you have destroyed the economy, if you have created alternatives for people that are dealing with people in the Southeast, if people that are small and medium scale, for instance, Aba now, Aba, whereby all these medium scale guys that are producing are, you shut it down on the most productive day of the week, on the important rush hour of the week, which is a Monday morning till evening. You shut it down, then you ask yourself, do you really love your people? Then we need to ask ourselves that, I'm being mindful of my words. I don't want to say there are some, should I say, bastard people, because you want to imagine that if your people are about making money, and money brings some form of independence, especially in the kind of Nigeria that we play, then you are now injuring your people from making the money at the most important time. Then we need to ask you that, who are you precisely now? Who are the people benefiting from it? It is still some people. You see, this sit at home is like a form of soft power. In the sense, it's like now, the way cultists behave, right? They are institutions of state. They are apparatus of state that are to tackle any kind of intimidation and harassment. But at the same time, there are different kinds of cultists that still intimidate and harass people. So this thing, it is a form of soft power that, okay, we can't have this, but let us still be doing this as to say that we are still relevant. So it is still the people of the Southeast, but then government has been unable to curb it because already the police is underfunded, underpopulated, and the amenities are also insufficient. Right. So you see that it is not possible. And when you know that, if government says, don't worry, go out, and there are some non-state actors that say, don't go out, by the end of the day, when they will come for you, the government will not be there.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Deji. I think it was Soludo that bandied that figure that time about a certain amount of money that was lost, And some people came out to ask Soludo, before they sit at home, the monies that were earned by the people and the government, if you put 15 trillion naira together, probably government earned 4 trillion out of that 15 trillion, while the other 11 went to the private sector. And the question was, Governor Soludo and other governors, what did you do with the 4 trillion naira, or the monies earned by the government on those days that Nigerians didn't sit at home? Now, the question is, should the people not hold the government responsible. I think Prince Chilaka said something about holding the Southeast governors responsible. I want you to expand it, both the state government, the state governors, and the federal government, because if you look at the root cause of this insecurity, it's clearly hinged on marginalization. The people felt marginalized. There's no federal infrastructure in the Southeast. They were excluded in the commanding heights of the economy, even the military, and politics, especially during the Buhari administration. That was essentially what drove the agitation to the point that it's become very intense now. So don't you think that the federal government also holds the ace to stop this agitation at this moment?
Well, I will put some of the blame at the doorstep of the federal government based on the quasi-federalist system that we practice, in the sense that to control all, you must be ready to receive blame for all. That's just the basic principle. Like the federal government tends to control too much and tends to control everything. So because the power of force, whether the military, the police, the civil defense, the state, the secret police, the conventional police, lies with the federal government. And the purpose of the federal government is to use them to make sure that there is security in the land. So if I would have put it more at the doorstep of the state government if the state have state police. But we've seen a situation whereby state governors, even their orders, are being denounced by commissioners of police. So in that kind of instance, if a governor is not at power, if a governor is not ready to bow down, to prostrate, to beg the presidency, then the governor will be helpless despite being a governor. Having said that, from the aspect of management of resources, both human resources and fiscal resources, which is money, I will put it a bit on the part of the state governors. Because, for instance, you see, if you do one thing, it can have a multiplier effect. Look at Aba now. I've been to Aba many years ago. What is stopping Aba from being an industrial hub? You don't expect, ideally, like in a country like Nigeria, with the real or perceived marginalization against the Igbos, you wouldn't expect that when the Yorubas and the Hausas, or if you like, the Hausa Fulanis, as we have it now, when they are rotating power amongst themselves, and there's this ethnic suspicion that one day you guys might say you want to go, you ordinarily won't expect that they would want to do much in terms of building the Southeast industrially. Then it now boils down on the state governors to make sure that these things are being done in such a way that the Southeast will naturally evolve industrially, in such a way that the Southeast will not only feed the Nigerian market, but also the Togo market, the Ghana market, the Côte d'Ivoire market.
All this grammar you are hearing here is in the process of trying to give you reason why you will stop sit at home. You know, these idiots, they say sit at home is not touching them, but every day they are on their platforms talking about sit at home. They are on their platform spilling one lie or those. Ask them, before sit at home started, what were they doing with the money they realized? What were they doing? How were they protecting the people? Very sad. But no matter what they do or say today, we are walking away for this, and that is the only thing that matters to us today.
The Southeast have the ability, so I will put that on the state government.
Dr. Brgie, let's walk a bit back to history, This agitation that is very intense now, when Obasanjo was in government, when Yar'Adua was in government, even when Jonathan was in government, it wasn't as intense as it is now. Like Prince said, it was Masob. Mezrika was driving a Masob agenda, My people need to movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra. As of 2013, Nnamdi Kanu was not even campaigning for the Southeast to exit Nigeria. He was asking questions, how do we make this country a better place for everybody? Can't we sit down at a round table and renegotiate this union? So it was when a certain government came into power, the Buhari government, and excluded the Southeast. Clearly, That was when the agitation gravitated towards violence and all of that. And the government, instead of, okay, let me not even answer the question for you. The point of it is this. This present administration is continuing in that direction of the Buhari government. So don't you think that the federal government still holds the ace towards the resolution of this crisis?
Okay, I'll pick it from two sides. First, the part of the federal government, then that of Nnamdi Kanu. First, for the federal government, I've asserted before that for me, the Buhari government committed what I can call an unforgivable sin. What do I mean by that? If Buhari were to be a Kingsley Moghalu, if it were to be an Omoyele Sowore, or any of these, to use the word in hip hop, new cats, if it were to be any of these new cats, it would have been forgiven. That Sowore is not experienced when it comes to leadership at that kind of level. So that's why his reasoning and his attitude is so sectional. But for a Buhari that has ruled this country as a military head of state, that has worked in an organization whereby you cannot avoid interacting with people from other ethnic groups, like the military. The military comprises of every ethnic group. So you rising through the ranks in the military, there's no way you won't interact with each and every sector of this country, whether by posting or even in the office itself. It's just like a police station. If you go there, you are expected to see an Hausa man, a Yoruba man, and a Ijaw man, just like a mini Nigeria. So for such a man that have ruled this country before, to have come back and now, be so nepotistic, tribalistic, for me, personally, it stands a little bit unforgivable in the sense that it creates more harm than good. And I've asserted that the Fulanis that Buhari was trying to favor, he has even done them more harm than good, because before the emergence of Buhari, people were comfortable with the Fulanis to hire them as your megad and all that. But now, people are not comfortable with them. They'll be like, no, X-Men, oh no, Boko Haram, all those kind of a thing. So that marginalization is a problem. Now, on the part of Nnamdi Kanu, I felt that, for me, I think Nnamdi Kanu could have had a more strategic approach, knowing fully well the kind of people that he is dealing with. And I'll give you an instance. I believe that Nnamdi Kanu should have, started small, then grow. What do I mean by that? Instead of saying...
You are going to hear how they are displaying their idiocy. You are telling us how our spirit of Nnamdi Kanu would have started the agitation. Our spirit of Nnamdi Kanu started small. When you listen to these people, you begin to understand that they do not know what Biafra stands for, how it was started, and how we are fighting our battle. They don't know. All they know is to come to continue to push a narrative that does not exist. That is what they are very good at. Listen to him on what he's saying about us.
Leadership at that kind of level. So that's why his reasoning and his attitude is so sectional. But for a Buhari that has ruled this country as a military head of state, that has worked in an organization whereby you cannot avoid interacting with people from other ethnic groups, like the military. The military comprises of every ethnic group. So you rising through the ranks in the military, there's no way you won't interact with each and every sector of this country, whether by posting or even in the office itself. It's just like a police station. If you go there, you are expected to see an Hausa man, a Yoruba man, and a Ijaw man, just like a mini Nigeria. So for such a man that have ruled this country before, to have come back and now, be so nepotistic, tribalistic, for me, personally, it stands a little bit unforgivable in the sense that it creates more harm than good. And I've asserted that the Fulanis that Buhari was trying to favor, he has even done them more harm than good, because before the emergence of Buhari, people were comfortable with the Fulanis to hire them as your megad and all that. But now, people are not comfortable with them. They'll be like, no, X-Men, oh no, Boko Haram, all those kind of a thing. So that marginalization is a problem. Now, on the part of Nnamdi Kanu, I felt that, for me, I think Nnamdi Kanu could have had a more strategic approach, knowing fully well the kind of people that he is dealing with. And I'll give you
There
an
is
instance.
no strategic
I believe
approach
that
than the one he has already taken. Mazen Nandekano took a strategic approach from the day he started up to this minute, but yet you kidnap him. Listen.
The Kanu should have, started small, then grow. What do I mean by that?
Nandekano would have started small and grew. What do you know about Nandekano? And what do you understand? What do you mean by saying Nandekano should have started small? You see, these people, they are using Mazen Nandekano and Biafra to cash out. They have nothing to say. They have absolutely nothing to say. But when they come, they begin to talk and preach as if they know what they are saying. Listen to him talking.
Instead of saying we want Biafra, if Nnamdi Kanu have studied a bit of history, he would have known that if he just said that he wants Biafra and is clamoring for it, he would have known that it would be met with stiff resistance, knowing fully well the history of the man in power at that point in time, Buhari. But the thing is, if Nnamdi Kanu have made this thing like a southeastern thing, and there is like a southeastern political party, which is like, should I say ABGA now? ABGA. If
these people are idiots. He's advocating that Mazen Nandekano should have started as a political party. This is how they are campaigning. This is how they convince the IPOB Nigeria today to become a political pressure group. You see what they're saying? That Mazen Nandekano should have started small. You should form a party. And he went ahead to give an example of ABGA. The ABGA that our eternal leader, Dim Odumogojuku, formed, how far? How far ABGA? ABGA today was even hijacked by the North. Buhari hijacked ABGA and planted the idiot in Anambra State today. Soludo. Buhari used Soludo to hijack ABGA. You want us to go and form a political pressure group. Sorry. And that is not our aim, and that's not what we're looking for. If you don't know what to say about our struggle, keep silent. Every one of us know what we are doing. Mazen Nandekano started well, did the right thing until the moment he was kidnapped. And today, our Prime Minister, Mazen Simon Ekpa, is doing excellently well.
Nnamdi Kanu is advocating or establish a political party or form alliance with a political party, with the people of the Southeast. This is where we are going. Imagine, just imagine that, okay, there are 5 states in the Southeast. If ABGA is controlling all the 5, the local government, the local government as well.
Advocating that we should go and form a party. Madness.
Negotiating power. Because if you look at the House of Reps that will be coming from the Southeast, their number, if you look at the Senate that will be coming from the Southeast, when there's any major national issue, it is about give and take. Okay, you want to do this. This is the position of the Southeast. Okay, if we support you to have this in your region, will you support us to have this? So it gives the Southeast a more stronger voice. It gives the Southeast a more negotiating power.
This man is talking nonsense. This was how they convinced our eternal leader, Dim Odumogojuku, to join politics. Our eternal leader, Dim Odumogojuku, tried to join politics to see if it is work, and they rubbished him. They rubbished our eternal leader to the extent that he could not be able to win his own ward. His own ward. Our eternal leader could not be able to win his own ward. And a riffraff won him. This is what they are still planning. Look at somebody opening his mouth to advise Mazen Nandekano to form a political pressure group. That is why this is the way they ran, and they took IPOB that Mazen Nandekano established and turned them to a political pressure group, the IPOB Nigeria today. This was how they convinced them. And they ended up becoming a political pressure group. You are telling us that Mazen Nandekano would have formed a political party. This is what they're advocating. The evil advocates. Our eternal leader that tried it, how far? Dim Odumogojuku tried it. He could not even win his own ward. Today, the ABGA that he formed himself, that is supposed to be the Igbo People's Party, the Biafran Party, ABGA, formed by the leader, the eternal leader of the Biafran people, ABGA. How far? How far ABGA? ABGA provided Peter Obi. Peter Obi committed genocide against the Biafran people, took the life of Biafrans. Abga produced Soludo. Buhari used Soludo. The Fulanis used Soludo to hijack Abga. And today, Abga is one of the greatest enemy of the Biafran people. And you are telling people, Mazin Nanigan should go form a political party. That is how they deceive. You are wasting your time.
And trust me, the Southeast, sorry, just a moment. The Southeast would have been more respected the more than to say, oh, we want a Biafran nation. I think the Biafran...
You are talking rubbish. That Southeast will be more respected as Southeast than Biafran nation. You are ignorant of what you're saying. Southeast, we are not. South, we cannot be. Biafra, we must be. That we should have taken the... You are ignorant of what you are saying. Why don't you talk about your own region and forget about us? Because from what you are saying, it means you don't know the history of Biafra. Neither do you know what we have passed through to get where we are today.
Nation is to bring about development, is to bring about the kind of emancipation of the people. This can happen when the people itself are still in Nigeria.
But no, we know that.
So later, then it can evolve. And sorry, I've said it that the actualization of Biafra, the agitation will most likely come from outside the country, whereby you have been able to convince the people that Nigeria fears. Nigeria still have these people that they used to behave anyhow to us. They have people that they fear. When you are able to convince those people, then you know, the agitation of Biafra, we have a stand. When Kesaruwa was clamoring and they didn't listen to him, when he made the advocacy international and it resonated with the international community, then they started giving him attention.
But you know that in Nigeria, for example, agitation did not just start from the southeast. We have the likes of Sunday Boho, we have the likes of Showore, who also chime or put in their own voice that they are agitating for Yoruba nation. They also talk about the secession. The most recent one was that of Onitiri, who also went to Ibadan to also make a public announcement. Now the case, or the question now is this: why is it that we're having Nnamdi Kanu to be the one that this whole conversation is around? That is on one point. Why is it that Nnamdi Kanu is still the one that is in detention? We have Showore come back again, talk about revolution in Nigeria for October 1. We also have Sunday Boho writing to Kastema about Yoruba nation. And yet, those ones are moving freely. Why can't we, or why is it that Nnamdi Kanu is the only one that Nigeria is so in quote, so interested in his case and his call for agitation?
Okay, it's about interest of the government and what government perceives as a threat.
Very good question. Why is it that it's just about Nnamdi Kanu? Why is it that it's just about Nnamdi Kanu? There are so many other people who do things. They talk about what they do not know. Telling us to go and form a political group. Is that not an idiotic statement? Is that not an idiotic statement? This is how they deceive to keep you busy and continue to enslave you. Answer, let's hear him.
The White Prince of Chilaka now can make statement. Government can look at me and be like, but government can look at the White Prince of Chilaka and say, this man will get white. White, you know, we need to be very careful of him. So I think it's about the interest of government. But we need to distinguish the advocacy of Nnamdi Kanu and that of Showore. The advocacy of Nnamdi Kanu is a bit similar to that of Sunday Igboho because they want a new nation from the existing or the corporate existence of Nigeria. But that of Showore wants a revolution that will change the leadership structure, the status quo. He's not calling for Nigeria to disintegrate. Showore wants Nigeria the way it is, but he wants like a democratic generational change. You know, a change in the structure of governance in such a way that governance will begin to bring the dividends of democracy that it is actually supposed to bring. So Showore is advocating in such a way that they won't be sending prayer to mailbox.
Dr. Deji,
what about Igbo? What is Igbo advocating for?
Do you think that the unity of this country?
Well, the unity of this country is negotiable. Even if you look at the UN charters and all the international treaties and all that, it's about marriage. You know, a country, a multi-ethnic country that exists, it is a marriage between two ethnic groups. And in marriage, there's always negotiating terms. What will you give me? What am I giving you? You know, what are we both bringing to the table? So long as you cannot keep somebody in a marriage and you don't want to do anything and you still want the person in that marriage. No,
Exactly. So why I ask this question is, why is it, you said something about if Nnamdi Kanu knew history, he should have understood that the moment he drove the secessionist agenda that he will meet stiff resistance. Now the question is, why is it that the Nigerian state does not want to clearly give the Southeast what is due to it in terms of resource distribution?
Greed.
Yet, they do not want the Southeast to exit.
Greed.
Why that contradiction?
Greed. It's just greed, you know. And if in a democratic setting, in a multi-ethnic democracy, there can only be peace if everybody or anyone doesn't come to the table with greed. Let's say this is Nigeria. The 5 of us here make up Nigeria. And there will only be peace here if there's cake on the table and each and every one of us does not come to the table with greed. Okay, what did you contribute? What is your experience? Okay, this is your share, this is my share. Then everybody goes home peacefully. But if you want to grab all the cake to yourself, of course there will be problem because she would revolt that, oh, is it because I'm a woman? You know, and if it is Prince that want to grab all the cake to yourself, then now we come up with, is it because I don't have white beards? You understand? So those things will begin to come up. You get what I'm saying? So those are the kind of things that will bring up issues. Okay. So the thing is, one of the solutions is don't come to the table with greed. I'm a Yoruba man. I'm a Yoruba man. I'm sorry, I have to say this. I'm a Yoruba man. But I think that other ethnic groups have been largely greedy, including the Yorubas, sincerely. Okay. The reason why I say so is that now, there are 3, except my secondary school teachers are wrong, right? They say there are 3 major ethnic groups. But if you look at it, since that coup that happened in the, is it 1963 or something? 66. Now, that particular coup, you will see that the Yorubas and the Fulanis have been so greedy that they've been rotating in among themselves. Now, Tinubu, if you use maybe 8 years, at the end of the day, if he's leaving, even before he leaves, the Fulani are already hungry for the power, as if it's their birthright. Immediately, the Fulanis are leaving. The Yorubas are already roaring like lions.
That is what they are doing, and we are no longer interested in that game. Nigeria is a program that has been programmed for the Yorubas and the Hausas. Let them continue to do it. Let the Fulanis and the Yorubas continue to share among themselves. We want to get out of it. We want to get out of it. Let those who want to be sharing continue to share. We want to get out. That is what we want. Any other legion that is interested in working out should prepare themselves and work out. We don't want any suggestion from anybody. We don't want to be part of the political whatever. We do not want anything that has to do with the Zoological Republic. We want out. As simple as that. Why is it difficult for you to understand? After the vote of more than 50 million Biafrans, you are still in the studio debating about Biafra. Are you not sick?
But then you ask yourself, what happens to the South? If you look at it now, sorry, sir. Right. If you look at it now, in Nigeria, if you begin to rank it, the Igbos that are the 3rd largest ethnic group are not well represented. The president, number 1, vice president, number 2, senate president, number 3, speaker of the House of Reps, number 4.
Okay. All right, then. Let me come to the Prince now. Prince, you're shaking your head. Is that disbelief or...
No, I'm sorry. I'm shaking my head because each time we talk about this thing about the Southeast, I get very emotional because I'm a Southeasterner. But my emotion goes to the fact that everything anybody is saying about the federal government still does not resonate. It boils down to what do the Igbos themselves want? You have governors in the Southeast.
That's where I'm
You have governors who have been receiving money from the federal.
This man is one of the idiotic person in this studio. He's asking what the Igbos want, and he's talking about the governors. What we want is freedom from Nigeria. We do not want to be part of Nigeria. In case you don't know, more than 50 million people that have voted to exit Nigeria. We have voted to exit Nigeria, and the governors have lost legitimacy. That is why we don't even care about them. They don't exist as far as we are concerned. The governors do not exist. No political elite exists as far as the Biafrans are concerned. a vote of more than 50 million, it is not a joke. If you think it's a joke, think again.
Let me ask
why
you this.
are they not developing the South?
Let me ask you
Sorry,
this.
I'm coming.
That's exactly that's exactly where I'm coming to. The governors, the Southeasterners, the governors, you know, why haven't they? Because we see a situation whereby a governor comes out and says, look, I want to align with the center so my people can enjoy the benefits of democracy. We hear of that. But when it comes to development, is it a question of greed? When it comes to the agitation, when it comes to the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is it a situation of aligning with the center or a situation of greed? What exactly is playing out? Let's make sense of it.
Let me start by saying that power is not given, power is taken.
So you need to snatch it and run.
No, definitely. Okay. Power is not given. Let us align to that. Secondly, when you get the power, you either use it to the benefit of the people or you use it for your own selfish ends. What has continued to play out in the South is, other than the late Sabin Bakwe of blessed memory, who else in the Southeast as a governor has developed anything, has done anything meaningful in the Southeast? Mention one governor.
So basically, the Southeasterners that represent the people as governors do not even want development in the area.
Now, when you say you want to align with the federal government, or you want to align with the power for the benefit of your people, in all these alignments, what development have they brought?
And that brings me back again to,
I'm coming.
You know,
when Mbakemon, the governor of Enugu State, and he said he wants to end sit at home, that people should come out. If you don't come out, he will demolish your shop. And I said, this man is not serious. He doesn't understand what is at play. Why is it that the Southeast governors are not sitting down? With all the senators, with all the representatives, with all the elders and chiefs and aces, why have they not sat down to ask themselves, what is the core problem?
Does that have anything to do with...
Why is it difficult for you to understand that we don't have any representation in the Zoological Republic? At this time, in 2024, under the new dimension, at the command of our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, we do not have any representation in Nigerian government. The governors have lost legitimacy in Biafra land. They have no legitimacy. There is no governor, no politician, either in the House of Assembly or in the Senate, that is representing the Biafrans. It is clear like crystal. What you, this man with white hair, should be talking about today is the disintegration of the Zoological Republic. And it is clear that none of you, including you with white hair, you are not ready to speak for the people. You first of all ask what the people want. We have conducted a referendum and more than 50 million Biafrans said they want to exit the zoo. That is what they want. Why are you still here talking about a governor that does not have legitimacy in Biafran territory? Why? You are part of the problem. Because you yourself, you're not even listening to, you say call the people and ask them, what are you going to call the people for? You yourself, you are not listening to the people, neither do you hear the people. Look at you sitting in the studio, talking trash. The Biafran people unanimously say they want to leave the zoo. Even you that is on the ground, go and interview people. You will hear from them. Everybody want to exit. That is what they want. We don't want any governor, development, political, whatever. We do not want it. The more you continue to pretend not to know this, you are part of the problem. Ohaneze Ndibo is part of the problem. Those elders you want to come and ask know the truth. They know the truth that Biafrans want to go out, including you. But you don't want to embrace it. You want to force them. You want to force Biafrans into the Nigeria that they don't want to be part of. That is the problem. And in 2024, that problem will be solved.
The disposition or the perceived disposition of the Igbo man as proudful?
Well, let's say, there is this saying about the Igbos. What is it? The Igbos have no king. But
there is nothing like Igwe. We have king. That saying is rubbish. We have Eze. We have leaders. What we do not have is rulers. We don't have rulers, tyrants. If you want to be a tyrant in Biafra land, we will not follow you. We have leaders, leaders who earn their respect. Somebody like our supreme leader, Mazen Nandi, can earn his respect from every indigenous person in Biafran territory, including the Nigeria, the zoo itself. The same way today, our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra, is gaining his respect. Gaining respect. He is not demanding for it. He earn. Remember, you earn it. You work for it. You earn it. You work for it, and you make people see you for whom you are. Mazi Nandekano did it, and he is our able leader. That is what we call him, our leader. Today, Mazi Simon Ekpa is doing the same thing, and we are recognizing him as the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra, our Prime Minister. We have leaders. What we do not have is rulers. We don't have rulers, and we will never accept.
We have outlived that.
Have we?
Yes, we have. Because now the Igbos negotiate, they discuss. But unfortunately, in all these discussions, it's not about the survival of the ordinary Igbo man. It's about the survival of a few. We saw what Rochas did in Imo State, using the state's funds to build statues.
So are you now saying,
what kind of stupidity
are you
is
now
that
saying,
as a governor?
Are you now saying, going by everything we have seen and the fact that those that are politicians within the Southeast don't seem to be representing the people's rights, if and probably when the state of Biafra is given, will we see anything different?
Those agitating for Biafra, are they not Igbos? Those that eventually, if there is Biafra, that will oversee the affairs of Biafra, are they going to import people from the moon?
Those governing the Southeast too are Igbos.
Those governing the Southeast right now are Igbos. Charity begins from home. So for me, as an Igbo man, let me put it clearly, for me as an Igbo man, it's not about Biafra. It's about the development of the South.
So that brings me to this question.
Let me finish. Few years back, I belong to an organization.
This is one of the saboteurs. You can see him the way he's talking. He say it is not about Biafra, it's about development. This man is insane. Man is insane, and he is lying to himself. This man cannot tell himself the truth that you cannot have any development as long as you are under that name called Nigeria. This man failed to realize that today it is about Biafra, not about whatever nonsense development you're talking about. Today, we can only have development when we have our own nation, Biafra. That is where we stand. That is why more than 50 million people voted. Why are you lying to yourself? And these are the kind of elders they want us to respect. People that have white hair that will never tell the truth. You said you are an Igbo man. The problem we have today is not even about Igbo. Don't narrow us down and cage us into that your Igbo nonsense. No. It is not about Igbo. We are talking about the nation, the country called Biafra. We must have to restore that very nation. When we restore it, every other ethnic nation there can go on their separate ways and be on their own. 50 million people that voted for Biafra are not only Igbos. The intimidation, the loss of life is not only in Igbo land. The civil war, everybody in the old Southeast region lost somebody in the civil war. The intimidation have continued, even when some of them begin to deny it. The act of people denying the identity of whom they are is as a result of the civil war. People today are denying to be whom they are. They are very scared to. People are even changing their name. They change their name and they're answering one English name or the other. That is how bad it is. So it is not about that idiotic development they're talking about. It is about restoring our dignity, whom we are. That is the most important thing. And you can only get that through the restoration of Biafra.
By everything we have seen, and the fact that those that are politicians within the Southeast don't seem to be representing the people's rights. If and probably when the state of Biafra is given, will we see anything different?
There will be a lot of difference when we have the state of Biafra. The state of Biafra will not be run like the zoo called Nigeria. We are already laying a good foundation. Today, we are having data. Our data system today is one of the best in the world. And when your country has data, you have reduced fraud. You have reduced corruption to 80%. We are building a standard, international standard that can compete with the best in the world. We have already started laying the foundation. The government of Biafra have already started laying the foundation. It will not be like the zoo when the state of Biafra comes. The Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, served in Finland as a counselor and he delivered. Today, he has told us how he's going to bring Finland. That thing that Finland did, and it is working for them today. They are competing with the world powers and Russia, one of the best and secure countries you can think of the world, Finland. We are bringing it to Biafra land. It will never be like the zoo. We are already laying the foundation. Your fraudulent certificate and the buying of your passport and the selling of yourself cannot happen in Biafra. Today, we are already setting that record straight. And that is why we want to be on our, because there is no amendment you can make on the zoo that will make it better. It will only get worse every day.
Those agitating for Biafra, are they not evils? Those that eventually, if there is Biafra, that will oversee their...
Did you see him? Eventually, if there will be Biafra. These are people who don't believe on the freedom of their people. And you see him talking with his white head. It means he does not believe on what his people want. Look at him. He is the same person that say, why won't the governors ask the people what do they want? This man is here pretending that he doesn't understand that what the people want is Biafra. He's pretending that he doesn't know that what is on board today is Biafra. That by December 2nd, Biafra will be declared and be defended. This man is still pretending. And he come here to talk and speak as if he knows what he's talking about. This is the kind of Ifajunas we have in Biafra land.
Yes, of Biafra. Are they going to import people from the moon?
Those governing the Southeast too are Igbos.
Those governing the Southeast right now are Igbos. Charity begins from home. So for me, as an Igbo man, let me put it clearly. For me,
so what?
Man, it's not about Biafra.
Look at him. It's not about Biafra.
It's about the development.
Development of what? How are you going to develop in this?
That bring me to this question.
Let me finish. Few years back, I belong to an organization known as Imo Network Group.
Okay.
We went to Umuahia to visit Nnamdi Kanu just before his hand was sacked and all of that. And we were very clear. I, as an Igbo man, I believe that if the Southeasterners will come together and adopt what I call 24 years development plan,
okay,
which was what we gave to him. We said, like Dr. Moshola said, we asked him, let us take the whole of IPOP and run over Abga.
Okay.
And have Abga as a party for the Southeast.
Okay.
You know what? No, you do.
Now you see where this man stands. When I tell you that these people are Sabotua, these are the people who went to force Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to change IPOB to a political pressure group. This is one of them. Another Ifajuna dictated. He has confessed, finally, he confessed that they went to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to tell him to roll over IPOB to Abga. Look at him. These are the people that are holding us down. People who don't believe that we are supposed to be free. He has confessed finally. They went to convince Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Look at them. These are the idiots that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu told them. Everything he's talking here, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said, go and bring this sort of thing, the restructuring you are talking about, the development you are talking about. Go and bring seaport. Remove the checkpoints in Biafra land. Bring airport. This white-haired man, were they able to bring it? Were they able to bring anything? There is nothing they were able to bring. They went and they brought Python dance. Look at him. Look at him. And he's now here talking. What do
you know what would have happened? What would have happened is that by now you probably have about 7 states under Afghan.
Look at him.
And that gives them the strength to negotiate. And that gives the Igbo man the strength to come to the federal and say, this is what we want.
Exactly.
Now hold on. Look at Lagos State.
Political idiocy.
Let's go back to the 2 former governors, Fashola and Ambode. They set the standard for the development of the state. Go back to the southeast. What do you have in Imo State?
Prince,
what do you have in Enugu State?
Prince,
what do you have? I'm coming, please hold on. I have a thought. Let me finish my thought. Let me finish. Now, when Mba came out and said, stop Monday sit at home, did he provide security for those he's asking to come out?
Oh, yes, he did.
Well, how come that when the unknown gunmen will come out to strike, you will not see the presence of security? What is going on? It simply shows you that it's either the governors themselves are the beneficiary of this sit at home, or the local chiefs.
Okay, Prince, you said something about negotiation, that Igbo should negotiate. You also said that power is not given, that it is taken. I have 2 questions for you. One, did Jonathan take power, or was it given to him? That is one. 2,
let's hear.
When you talk about, don't you think that these problems are layered? Clearly, the state governors have their responsibilities, which they have failed according to you. A lot of people will agree with you. But on the other side, on the other hand, don't you think that the federal government is also driving the marginalization? This present administration is constructing a Lagos-Calabar coastal highway, flagged off, under construction.
Tell him, he doesn't know what the Biafrans want.
Badagry, Sokoto.
Educate him, he that is a politician. What are they able to be bringing?
These 2 super highways cut across more than 18 states of the Federation. Buhari built rail lines across the length and breadth of this country. Southeast got only 40 kilometers. Do you hold the governors responsible for not building a coastal highway that didn't cut through the Southeast? A super highway that didn't cut through the Southeast from Badagry to Sokoto? Is it the problem of the governors, or is it a national problem? I don't even want to talk about appointments in the commanding heights, both under Buhari and this present administration.
Tell him, educate him, let him continue to say himself.
Mr. Koro, personally, I do not believe in this federal government as an Igbo man.
Talk louder. Let's hear you.
I will not hold federal government responsible for what's happening in the Southeast. I will hold my governors responsible.
You see?
If the federal government has decided not to build rail lines in the Southeast, why are your governors not coming together to build rail lines connecting the entire Southeast? Don't they have the money?
Rail lines were only decentralized just about a year ago.
It doesn't matter. Since a year ago, what have they done?
This man is talking rubbish. How can you be in a country, a federal government will do a project and exclude a region, and you say it doesn't matter? They tell you to go and focus on your governor, and you are idiotically going to your governors. And you forget again that their so-called constitution have taken so many things and put in exclusive list. It doesn't bother you what they put in exclusive list. It doesn't bother you that the money that they are using to make those construction and development is gotten from your own state, from your own region, and yet they boycott you. The greatest and the biggest gas depot today is in Imo State. They take the money, they steal it, they even pipe it all the way to Europe. Yet, they organize a project and they do not affect the Southeast. And you say it doesn't matter. You are an idiot. That is why we say we don't respect all these people with white hair. White hair is not white sense. How can somebody who claim to know all, and I can understand that this is one of the Fajuna, when he told you that he went to tell Mazen Nandekano to change IPOB to a political pressure group. What else do you want me to hear from this man? A man who went to convince Mazen Nandekano to turn IPOB to a political pressure group, even when he knows that it is a betrayal. Look at him. They have sent him to come and defend them. Whenever I see somebody telling you, go to your governor, go to your governor, go to your governor, these are deceivers, bunch of clowns. That is why Mazen Nanekano said, we focus on the head and we cut off the head. Once you cut off the head of the snake, the body will be useless. But if you don't cut off the head of the snake, you continue to go on the tail, it will get you with the head and bite you to death. If you leave Abuja and you are talking about the latest around, you can never succeed. The same state governor he's talking about is planted by the federal government. You want to go and control Hope Uzodinma that was put by the court, by federal government itself, and they tell him what to do. You want to go and control him. You want to go and control Soludo that is working directly for the federal government. You want to go and face him. The people who the federal government is sponsoring and giving them ammunition to subjugate the people. You want us to go. These people are deceivers, and this man has just shown who he is. It is sad that we have this kind of people. Look at him, how he was hitting his chest, telling that he's Igbo. These are the kind of Igbo men that have kept us stand still, have sworn and said we will not be free. And every one of you will meet your doom.
How many states have built in the southwest? How many states have built rail lines?
Even the road network in the southeast, how many of them are working?
I say the problems are layered.
No, how many of them are working? Maybe you should take a trip to the southeast.
Okay, how many federal roads in the southeast are working?
Listen, when we had problems with federal roads in Lagos, I remember the governors then fixed the roads and sent the bill to the federal government.
Asoro could pay him and send it to come here and talk rubbish.
Why are the it doesn't matter. A debt is a debt. Why are the Southeast governors not thinking out of the box? Why are they not thinking out of the box?
That will bring me to this question, Prince Chilaka. You know, you've been talking about the state governments or the people in the Southeast, the governors in the Southeast not doing what they ought to have done for their people. And then I want to ask, who is really benefiting from the insecurity in the Southeast? Because, for example, we also had, during the time of Nnamdi Kanu's broadcast, he made mention of how the Southeasterners, how the big wigs in the Southeast are actually part of the people, or part of the challenge, the problems that they're having. And that is what Ima Powerful talked to be, how politicians of the Southeast turn their back, you know, towards his release or his freedom. Now, we have Simon Ekpa coming up to say, sit at home in the Southeast must happen. Whereas Nnamdi Kanu have said, there's no more sit at home. Ima Powerful also happens to be the IPOB spokesperson, says, we are not the ones giving the sit at home order because we cannot kill the people that we are agitating freedom for. They have also pointed out saying that some people are benefiting from the sit at home order and the unrest in the Southeast. So Mr. or Prince Chilaka, I will ask you, you're smiling already. Who are the benefactors or who are the people benefiting from the sit-at-home or the unrest in the Southeast?
The governors are beneficiaries, every one of them. They cannot deny it.
Even the ones saying that it's sit-at-home should stop?
There's a saying, you know that every month they collect security votes. Also, there's a particular amount that is given to states that are troubled in terms of security. Where are they applying those funds? The political class in the Southeast are responsible for the unrest in the Southeast. Because when it is time for
including you are among it.
They bring
the
out
insecurity is caused by people like you who cannot speak the truth.
Do they get to collect it back after the elections? What is happening in the Northeast today? We all know how it started. It's the political class. You cannot in any way exonerate the political class from what is happening. Is it the ordinary poor man on the street trying to survive by the day? Is it the one that is financing such madness?
All right.
Does he have the kind of money to do that?
Well, big questions. But because of time, let's quickly touch on the involvement of another individual who has declared Biafra in exile. I'm talking about Simon Ekpa now. His name was mentioned not too long ago by my colleague here. Simon Ekpa has consistently called for agitation in the Southeast, even when Nnamdi Kanu has dissociated himself from some of the agitation in the southeast. Nigerians, have said, look, and then words that one can consider the.
One of the lie they tell, see, he said Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have de-associated himself from some agitation in the southeast. This is a lie. It is a blatant lie. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu did not de-associate himself with any agitation in the southeast. He did not de-associate himself from any agitation in the southeast. What he said is that he is not in support of the loss of life of Biafran people. He is not in support in taking life of any Biafran. That is what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu never de-associate himself from the agitation in the southeast. Stop spilling lies and deceiving the world and the people. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is even agitating in the prison himself. He has made a case in his last appearance. He said, why are there this conspiracy? Why is the conspiracy against the Igbo Biafrans more especially? Why the conspiracy against the Biafran people? Why? So when you come to say that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu de-associate himself from some agitations in the southeast, you are a blatant liar. He has not. He only de-associates himself from the killing of innocent Biafrans. Taking of the life of innocent Biafrans. He is not part of it and will never put that. And the Biafran government does not participate in taking the life of innocent Biafrans. That is the truth. That is the truth. And you must embrace that truth. No matter your lie, you are pushing and trying to force people into something else, the truth will remain the truth. Let's listen.
In exile. I'm talking about Simon Ekpa now. His name was mentioned not too long ago by my colleague here. Simon Ekpa has consistently called for agitation in the southeast, even when Nnamdi Kanu has dissociated himself from some of the agitation in the southeast.
You are a liar.
Nigerians,
it's a lie.
Have said, look, and then words that one can consider derogatory are constantly being put out on, the different media that he uses. And Nigerians have said, look, bring this person home. Now, I do understand that we may not have extradition treaty with the Finnish government. But what is, according to you now, what do you think his interests are? Some have even said that he may be sponsored by certain individuals in government to ensure that insecurity persists in the southeast, as that will affect elections. Because we see, cases where elections are to be held, elections that will ordinarily put people in power, help them decide on who will govern or their person of interest be in power, and you say people must not come out to vote. Is that in the interest of the people?
Okay, let me quickly touch on a question he asked that.
Go ahead.
Who is benefiting from this sit at home in the southeast? Number one, the non-state actors. You see, this sit at home, to my mind, started as a solidarity that, why would you arrest Nnamdi Kanu? Is it because he is vocal? Is it because he wants something good for his people? If that be the case, we will sit at home every Monday to express our interest. So to express our dissatisfaction. So it started as a solidarity movement. But then these non-state actors began to realize that, so we can truly, declare sit at home. So that means that we have so much power. And they started profiting from it. And by the way of profiting from it, it came to stay. If you ask me again that, who is profiting from it? I can say the federal government. You ask me how. The federal government is largely dominated by the Yorubas and the Hausa Fulanis, right? Now, if the Yorubas and Fulanis want to keep rotating power among themselves, number one, if there's no peace in your area, it helps them. Number two, if you are not as financially stable as you should be, it helps them. So if they don't want you in power, and your source of wealth, you are declaring sit at home to kind of like say, okay, people should sit at home.
So
those at the federal level, those at the federal level that stands to benefit from it will keep it like that, but they will just manage the situation in such a way that it doesn't lead to a total breakdown of law and order or threaten the corporate existence of Nigeria. I'll give you an example. The case of bandits, for instance, the bandits are there, they are operating, but when they are going overboard and it begins to kind of like be like it wants to threaten the corporate existence of Nigeria, government will react. But after a while, government will pipe down. Why don't you react fully to nip it in the bud fully? So the federal government itself, that is largely dominated by the Yorubas and the Hausa Fulanis, you know, the lack of peace, the lack of coherence, if you look at it, is to their own benefit. If there is peace in the southeast, you would think, oh, you want to come up with a united something, or you want to align with one political party or form an alliance. But if there is no peace, then that may be difficult itself. And now there are like 4 different kind of political voices, or if you, I don't want to say leadership voices. There are 4 kind of factions that you can either align with 1, or 2, or 3, or all. Number 1, that of Nnamdi Kanu. Because Nnamdi Kanu has stayed long in detention, is beginning to lose steam to some extent. You have Simon Ekpa, which also have his own followers. You have Peter Obi, who is being seen as the political leader now.
This guy is talking nonsense. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa do not have different followers. Mazi Simon Ekpa is disciple of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and they are pursuing the same goal. Up to this moment, as we speak, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is pursuing Biafra, and Mazi Simon Ekpa is undoubtedly pursuing Biafra, and he has promised to deliver Biafra. Except Mazi Nnamdi Kanu come out openly and denounce Biafra, we will continue to respect him, and we will continue to work with him, and we will continue to stand for every single thing he represents. Trying to de-associate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Mazi Simon Ekpa is an idiotic move, and it will not fly. Get that straight. Get that straight. Do not try to make such comparison. They are not different people. They are pursuing the same agenda. That is what that's the right way to say it. They are pursuing the same agenda, is what they have. The same agenda. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa is pursuing the restoration of independence of Biafra. That is the focus. If you are talking about your one Nigeria, you are a different person altogether. Totally out of the question. And as it stands today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa are on the same page. Until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu decide to denounce Biafra, or Mazi Simon Ekpa decide to denounce Biafra, then we will know. But as it stands today, they are one people.
Of the southeast. So you now tend to imagine that, okay, this southeast, where do we really go? You see people that they are supporting Nnamdi Kanu, that okay, free Nnamdi Kanu, we want Biafra. You also see those people during election, they will say, oh, we want to go and vote for Peter Obi. You will see the same people, they say, why should you extradite Simon Ekpa? So there is confusion all over the place, except for the Igbo ruling elite that are profiting from the corporate existence of Nigeria. That the corporate of an Igbo man that has built businesses, for instance, all Jews of Kalu, for instance, we not pray that Nigeria should disintegrate. Because why? He has built businesses across the length and breadth of Nigeria. So the Biafra agitation is mainly for the Talakawas, the Mekunus, the have-nots, or the middle class of the southeast. But the people that are feeling pain, or the people that can make that happen, they won't want it to happen because it will affect them.
That is where you got it wrong. We are going to make it happen. The middle class you are talking about will make it happen. There has never been any time when the rich do things to favor the poor. No. The middle class will make it happen. That is where you got it wrong. Your analysis, you are so correct. that those rich ones, those billionaires, those ones they call themselves elites, because they are benefiting from the one Nigeria, they will never speak up for Biafra. And we know that very well. You don't need to remind us. We know it very well. But telling us that they are the ones that will make it happen, it is a lie. They are not the ones. It is we, the ordinary people, that will make it happen. And it's going to happen. Watch out. From December 2nd, you'll begin to understand. You will come here and analyze a different thing.
And that's why you see that Nnamdi Kanu is not being released. Because they will think that, oh, the people that can fight for him, people that can speak on his behalf, just as the Yoruba kings, the Yoruba political elite spoke in favor of Sunday Igboho. Sometimes, when you walk through life, when you pass through life, if you have not passed through life to such an extent that you need some people to speak for you apart from yourself, then you haven't passed through life. But when you get to that stage, if you don't have somebody to speak for you, then you'll be in problem. One of the problems Nnamdi Kanu is facing is not because he has committed any crime that has never been committed in Nigeria before. Secession in Nigeria started way back in the 1960s during the days of Isaac Adakaburu. So Nnamdi Kanu is not new. Odumegwu Njoku, he did it, Sunday Igboho and a host of others. But the truth is, those that can advocate for his release right now are people that are benefiting from. You would think that they are divided. When these people, when they meet with the president, they are beginning saying, oh.
But the likes of the late Iwanyan who advocated, people like that spoke out. These are people of influence as well.
Yes, the late Iwanyan is respected. But those that can speak now, right now, are the people that have the political power now.
The governors in the southeast have gone to see the president in this regard. Do you think it's just a show off?
I think there's no serious dimension to it, in the sense that, for instance, when the president was campaigning and he went to the southeast, what was the point of dialogue of the southeast people? Okay, Buhari marginalized. Buhari, okay, you want to say unjustly detained Nnamdi Kanu. It's okay. But when the Emilokon was campaigning, what was the Igbo's point of negotiation as an ethnic group? The Igbo leaders, the Hope Uzodinma, a host of them, what was their point of negotiation with, let's say, Peter Obi is their own, with Atiku Abubakar and the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu? Of course, you cannot exclude the leadership structure in the country. For instance, if the Igbos are being given a fair opportunity to be president, one, it will douse this tension. Two, no matter how long it takes, an Igbo man will come there and also release his own people.
But Dr. Deji, sorry, some people
just
from
as,
Yoruba land.
I need to say this. Just as Buhari went all after Sunday Igboho, Bola Ahmed Tinubu came there, he piped down. So if Buhari went after Nnamdi Kanu, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has failed to release him. If there is no greed in the political structure of Nigeria, if, let's say, the president now is Peter Obi, maybe he would have also released Nnamdi Kanu. So that's why I said that you can't rule away the import of political power. And you have leaders now that they are mainly advocating for themselves in the southeast. You understand? So if they make it a point of pressure that this is what we want, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will give it to them. Releasing Nnamdi Kanu is not really his problem.
So it's up to the leaders.
It's not really his problem.
All right, then. So let's move on to another.
What this man is just doing here is promoting the ethnic bigotry. What this man is promoting in this discussion is divisiveness of the zoo. When you listen to him, you will understand how divided the Zoological Republic is, and that is why it must end. Everybody is talking about his own region. Look at him, what he's saying. The Yorubas should negotiate for the Yorubas. Igbos, Yoruba for the Igbo interests. And the Hausas for their own interests. These are different people that do not have the same value system. Why are you still forcing them to be together? This is a country that supposedly has a law. They supposedly have a law, and the law of the country have said, release this man and let him go. He is innocent. Why do you have to wait for the Igbos to lobby before you let him go? Why? Why do you have to detain an innocent man simply because he's an Igbo man? You are waiting for the Igbo elders or whatever, or whoever you're waiting for to come and beg you. When you have a law in the country that says you are innocent. From this point of view, you can understand these are the reasons. That is why I tell people, every day you listen to these people who are commenting in their media stations. When you listen to them, you will understand the divisiveness in that zoological republic. You will understand Nigeria has never been one, will never be one. It doesn't matter what you do. They come on national TV and they promote ethnicity. They promote their ethnic regions. They promote their bigotry. And they don't hide it. They don't hide it. That is whom they are. Tribal peace by nature. People are tribal by nature. This is they are tribal. Why are you forcing them to be together? It will never work. That is why we are going out of the zoo. Understand it, know this and know peace.
The conversation now. Nigerians are crying out over what they...
My fellow Biafrans, I think we have to stop this discussion here. I hope you have gotten some points from all that we have discussed today. The more they continue to push these lies, the more we come here to decimate their lies and destroy it. I appreciate everyone that have joined us on today's program, wherever you are joined from. I say, may Njoku continue to guide and protect every one of us. We will continue and we will never give up. The restoration of Biafra is going to happen, whether they like it or they don't like it. Biafra must be restored. And we are going to hand over a nation to our people. They will have no reason to cry anymore. The zoo has ended.
Nobody is talking about the agreement and how Nigeria become a country from amalgamation to fake independence to today present Nigeria. They put it under the carpet because nobody have risen up to challenge them. Nobody have risen up to question the existence of Nigeria. Until now, we are questioning it under the Biafra government in exile. And we will question it with gun, we will question it with bomb, we will question it with civility, we will question it diplomatically, and we will question it politically. And that is the multi-dimensional approach. That thing they are avoiding to discuss, that particular existence of Nigeria or continuation of Nigeria, they have been avoiding to discuss, will be forced to discuss. They will be forced with the activities and the actions of the Biafra government in 2024. That's where we are going. That's why all these shenanigans, all this their regional government, all this nonsense you see happening are happening today. And they have not actually started hitting the point, because the point remains the continual existence of Nigeria as a country. They are not discussing it. What was the agreement of 1914? What was the agreement thereafter? Independent. What happened for after the 100 years of Nigeria? Nobody is discussing it. Our own British mandate terminated in 2014. That was when the British mandate terminated. When they say you have 100 years, after that we decide.
Biafra, Afro, BFR, Raffle Jingle, my people, follow who no road. His Excellency Simon Ekpa Njoku, na him they carry us enter Biafra. He they play the show, no be lie. The good guy, Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government, in exile, when they for Obodo Yibo, Finland, with him government, na him they do the wonder. Say make you join, follow up, he go sweet you for body. Freedom today, better for you and your picking them. I dey tell you, he can still bring ogbonge raffle draw with big money when you go win. I dey tell you, no be lie. Starting from on the 29th of November, go reach December 3rd. Now this thing they happen 2024. And make I shock you, the money, it makes sense well. $20 and total winning prize $10,000. A first prize $5,000, third prize $2,000. BFR, no sit down, no sit down look, na dog name. They want from here gather money to build Biafra, where you they cry for sins. You go also win too.
The Texas Liaison USA is welcoming our Obataobi, His Excellency Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, to the United States of America, USA, for a town hall meeting. Therefore, we're inviting all wonderful people of Biafra, friends of Biafrans, well-wishers, and all lovers of freedom to this great event. Yeehaw! We move!
Thank you, my fellow Biafrans, for your patience in being with us till the end of this very program. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect every single one of you that have been part of this program. I thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for whatever contributions you have made on this program today. May Chukwu come and guide and protect you, protect our Liberation Army, guide and protect the federal government in Gaza, guide and protect our Liberation Army, guide and protect our media warriors, guide and protect our Prime Minister. May he be protected, more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. We pray for the security and safety of our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Pray for good health. We pray for strength. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect every one of you that have been part of this program. Before we go, hear this last message. Let it be your pillar as you go home and sleep tonight.
We are going to do wonders. I want you all to understand that we are in a very big battle. Battle for freedom is not for lily-livered people. It's not for kids. Battle for freedom, they throw bombs, rockets for people to get freedom. So freedom is not meant for people that are too emotional. It's not meant for people that somebody will talk this and talk that and they begin to shiver. No. I am born for Biafra to come. And I'm going to help Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to get Biafra. Believe me. Go and mark today's date. I want to assure Biafrans, so long as you continue to stand on your freedom, I will be there for you. So long as you continue to maintain that you have a right to live, I, Simon Ekpa, will be there. Any day, anytime.
Manakano, what do I take on? I can never get on. Someone upon making a more even. How could you with them? They buy no. What about the Ekpa? What make it Ekpa? What make it Ekpa? It's not good about Tobia, not good about Tobia. But let's have your flag on the line. I'll leave me. Angela made me say, I'll leave me. Brother, Biafra to be do mumma do. I think people know what can I know no sit down any na to be do mumma no. Oh yeah, yeah. Malafali. Tini kam na ka metinali ni fi mem na ka metinali ni fe. The president no me kunali no kunu. It's not your convention came 29 November na Latino. Na better December 3rd declare right Biafra no. No sit email mu go be do mumma na afali. Itini we sa pata no bi. Onya na kpo we di phone eme. Na azabata no bi we di phone eme. Na azabata no bi da dum. If Fabiano, to tell I Biafra ba no, o jade aye manu. Aye me ki se meri ma me like I se menu. That's not come back ba kwa aka ni do do. Me like you na kwa ye so na so so you kenu. It's na boy bi na ye de na ye de me. Onye si na da fa ye me yo funa anya ni. Okwesi na we kai si padoli. Aye me you be ha funa anya no. onye si na nke anyị na-eme ya bụ ma ya nwere ike tii na nke anyị nụ onye si n'isi na awa ga-eji nke ewere na-aja nụ dodoyi ekerekwa gị eke ụbọchị eke na-aga alụrụ ọfọ dodoyi ga-etefere ya akụ iji fere elu iwe ma gba alụ nguzi ụbọchị ekenu ma nwa alụghị edoko oge elu ụmụ ma nwa alụghị oji ụbọkọ ngochasị alụ ụnụ ụbọchị aja nwere etiti dodoyi na-atọ n'ịcha anakụ ugo na mmiri mmanụ ugo na-atụ ugo alụ ụlọ onye ka na-ada ka na agọla ụta bụ ụbọchị ekenu eke ke ikpe eke weta ife ọma nri ọdụ m ekerekwa gị n'okwu ekwe ego na ọmaka ya emere unu na mmụọ ọgwụ ya apụ apụ mkpata ọgbata ya apụ apụ wee mkpa ahụ mmụọ na-apụ apụ mmụọ ube mnu siri agwa anụmokwu n'afọ arị gwa m ife ma agwa ike obi dị gị ma n'onu eri maka ịkpa m na ọkpakọtararị unu ife ịkpa m na ọbara tụrụ ọbara ya arụghị ọbara tụrụ eri ife na-ekwu n'anya arị atịrị so na ndị odi ndị akara anọrị ngwamele anyị gobido anyị mmanụ na Naijiria adọzi ọnọdụ odoyi maka na mkpakọtasị obodo afọ na manya natakwa erio mana ibulatara eri afọ na anọdụzi obi dodoyi ọdụ na-ekelekwa ahụ na eze agụtara obi ọnụmekenekwa elu ọgbakọbalụ m na nwere mgbe ịgbalụ ndị zu ọsọ dodoyi na ha ma ifọdọgwu mere ha nụ iwe chiri medal na-atụghatara ha si anyị chọrọ ime ka ha fụ n'anya arị mgbe bunatara Biafra ka obido ụmụ mmanụ bunatara Biafra ka obido ụmụ mmanụ na-atụkwa n'azụ ụgbọ na ife oyimi na akọdoyi ihe merụ m ka obido ụmụ mmanụ enweghị ihe ọgụ n'okwu eyi sigụpụtara Biafra ka nwee n'onwe anyị dodoyi ekere n'ọlụ m na ndị ka anụ ebe o nyere gị igwe kwụsị anyị soro ụlọ anyị eme ka a gwara anyị dodoyi otu unu tiri iwe maka na obi ịgbatabachi n'obi nụ ka e bụrụ mgbọrọgwụ na ụdị eyi ma meere anyị omeru oyi Finland be anyị o ndị lati onu m ekelekwa unu elezasa stọp onu m ekelekwa ego faụnda onu m ekelekwa ego adanda bụ na ndị ekele onu m ekelekwa ego achara ube nwaanyị ọgba ngebe oyibo nụ onu m ekele elu n'okwu eyi nwakabaka esi eme ọdịnala dodori ọnụ m ekelekwa unu donu ka ọnụ m kelekwala unu ka unu ha wee kpuchie ya onu m ekelekwa unu ndị muvin tren onu m ekelekwa unu lizin ọfisa n'obodo niile onu m ekelekwa unu ndị banyị nọ France onu m ekelekwa unu Germany onu m ekelekwa unu ndị obodo unu onu m ekelekwa unu onu m ekelekwa unu na-eme ka obido mana akanụ ọdịwaanyị ji ebe ọnụ ekelekwa nga ekele ọnụ dodoyi sabọnụ ọkpọnụ m ekele ego mmụọ ka ibe enu ọkụzi egwegwe m ndị ekwuribe anyị nụ ọnụ m ekelekwa agụ ọnụ m ekelekwa agụ ọnụ m ekelekwa agụ na ngwụ nwabata obie na ngwụ nwabata obie ma bụlatara anyị Biafra ka obi kedụrụ anyị nụ alụrụ egbu ome Naijiria eme m ife alụrụ egbu ome bụlatara Biafra ka obido ụmụ mmadụ dodoyi ọkụ ife ịgbalụ n'akwa ka nna ya oghụrụ olu sigba na elu nya ka obido ụmụ mmanụ mmanụ afagharị tinye ịkpa m n'akpa metenarị n'ife ime m n'aka ma emenarị n'ife ịkpazie m n'ọnụ
onye kwuru ka a na-eme ọgbata obi ihe kwuru ka a na-eme ọya ọwụ na m ihe bụ ụwa agụ chụpụziri ndị zu polisi na checkpoint na Biafra land
o nwere ka ị ga-esi tigide ụmụazị ihe ofe ụbọchị ha kwụrụ kwechiri ọha anyị na-emekọta anyị nụcha ọgụ a anywhere afọrọ ihe yiri ndị Biafra mgbe Usman Dan Fodio buru agha nke ya wee bata wee gbugide ndị ugwu wee gbuchie ha wee were ana ha sọnsọ that story ahụ akụkọ ahụ bụ ihe a na-akọrọ anyị akọgide aka ka Usman Dan Fodio si wee gbuchie ndị ugwu o wee bụzi ya datina onye sizi n'ugwu Awụsa wee pụta ma agụ ụra n'ala Igbo isisi agbakwana ejekwana dị ọgụ na ọ na-akpọkwa daga maka ọrụ ihe a kọrọ anyị ndị a were egwu Igbo onye Awụsa ma agụ ụra ịgbachi ya nkịtị maka na ịma na ọ ga-ama gị daga mana ọ macha gị daga ahụ nwe ihe ị ga-eme ndị a wee were ụjọ wee jide anyị wee na-dagbuo onye ugwu mee gị ihe ịgbachi nkịtị ị na-edi ya mana onye nwanne gị bụ onye Igbo mee gị ihe onye Biafra mee gị ihe isi ka egbuo ya nkịta nke echi maka na ịma na ọ naghị ama daga aga m agwa unu na daga anyị kịta abụrụzi against ndị Igbo daga anyị kịta bụ against ndị ahụ bịara ube anyị igbu anyị otu Usman Dan Fodio style a ga-ama ha ivu eva n'ụwa niile a daga niile ha malụ n'ugwu Awụsa anyị ga-amakarịa ha masef ebe a ka anyị nọ amachazi ya ewerezi onwe ya we now begin to idozi ana anyị dozie ana Igbo dozie ana Biafra ọ dịla anyị mma maka na ihe anyị na-achọ ka ọ dị onye ọbụla na mma ka ihe niile a na-eme na-aga aga onye nwere isi ọgụgụ ọ gụọ onye nwere isi eji alụpụta ihe o mee ya na-alụ ya na-afọ ya na ya na-eme kọmpetishọn n'ọhịa ọhịa na-eme ka ụwa dị mma onye ọbụla na-egori ndewonu otu unu kwenu kedu ihe a na-akpọ ya sef
otu nnọkọ ezinụlọ
kwenu otu nnọkọ ezinụlọ kwenu
eziokwu bụ ndụ
Biafra kwezuonu
eziokwu amara
asị egwu nalọmịtọ
nna m lee idi ya ọbata obi idi ya odogwu nwoke ọ ga-adịrị gị na mma nna m ọbata obi daalụ a sị na onye na-eme
ụbọchị taa ụbọchị gị ọbata obi ụmụ Igbo ya echiwe gị ọzọ today ikwete na ọ na-eme
ọbata obi daalụ nna m a sị na onye na-eme ka m si eme ka m na-akpọ ọyịmọma nke bụ eziokwu bụ ndị izu ndị ha yiri anyị egwu kpọọ ya anyị ụjọ n'ahụ mana ịgwaghị eziokwu kamgbe ụmụazị m wee kweghị n'ụjọ ahụ that is why mbelecha anya like this obi aṅụrị na-akpa m ọ kachasị otu isi wee kwechikwuoro ebe ndị afọ nja nọ na-agwa ha eziokwu ọkwa ifuru sinsi iji agwa ha eziokwu ha anaghịzi abịa amanya anyị ụjọ ha na-amanya anyị bikos anyị ekwechirigo nna m daalụ nwoke ọma akwụ gị n'azụ ọmaka ma elu gị
ndewo maazị onye isi ala anyị ha sị na ịda asụ Igbo mana a ga-emecha kweta taa maka na ihe ndị Igbo ka anyị nọ
ndị na-ekwu ihe a nkwara ya ka m asụ Igbo ha na-asụ Igbo ha na-asụ ụdị Igbo nna asụ ha na-asụ Igbo Abakaliki
mba nọ
ịma nke ọzọ